Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us on this lovely morning. So my name is Abdul Haq, and joining us on this presentation, or rather a training session today, is my colleague Farahin. And then you can issue any of your questions during the presentation on the question box down below. I believe you can see the question on your screen. Okay, and then we will read it out loud, your questions alongside the answers. And afraid not, if you worry about your identity, it will be kept anonymous in this case. So whenever we want to read the question, we will keep your name anonymous. Okay, so let us begin with the training session. So this is the agenda for today's presentation. The first one, we will take a look at the introduction to BuildSpace, what BuildSpace is actually all about. And then we will see how do we perform or how do we conduct e-tendering in BuildSpace. After that, we will see on the contract management in BuildSpace. And lastly, we will go ahead and answering all of your questions. So what is BuildSpace? BuildSpace is actually, we like to call ourselves as a game changer in the construction industry, whereby normally all works will be prepared on an Excel file, and then the employees from the construction industry especially will have to juggle around multiple sheets throughout the project's life cycles. And then this process is proven to be very inefficient, and also whenever one party were to edit or were to make amendments on the documents, another party cannot access to that document. So it is a very non-collaborative platform in itself. So when BuildSpace steps in, we provide a very automated system in which all of the documents and all of the process will be conducted on a cloud-based system. So basically, BuildSpace is a cloud-based system, which means that you can access whenever you are, with whatever devices that you have, as long as you have an internet connection. Okay, and then by having BuildSpace, we tried to streamline the workflow that parties throughout the construction process will see and will experience on themselves, in which will translate to a more collaborative platform where everyone can do their jobs and everything is integrated seamlessly. Okay, moving on. In BuildSpace, we have two separate products. The first one is the BuildSpace e-project, which usually being used by our friends in real estate developments, the project manager, and also for our friends at main contractors. So it is a very wide or very huge platform in which most of the project management task is being done. And then we have a BuildSpace Pro, which is suitable for us in contractors, as a project consultant, in this case maybe as a QS, and also subcontractors in managing our BQ related work. Basically, BuildSpace Pro is suitable for those people who works are revolving around BQ. Okay, so these are some of our clients that already use BuildSpace for their development process. Some of them big names like Gamuda Land, UOA Setia, SP Setia Berhad. Also, we have Hap Seng Land, Metrio, PDC, and just recently we have also DKQS to use our e-project. So whenever you will participate for any of these clients over here, you most likely will encounter BuildSpace. So for today's session, we will take a look at how do we perform e-tender in BuildSpace on contractors' point of view. Okay, the first step is the company registration. So you will need to register yourself inside EcoWorld's e-project. And then we will go to how to respond to an expression of interest. Okay, afterwards, we will see how to acknowledge the tender calling. After that, the tender submission, respond to tender clarification invitation, and lastly, to raise any queries during the tendering process. Okay, so for today's session, we will take a deeper look into tender submission, which in itself will be divided into few items over here. The first one is the download the tender documents, and then we will see how do we do technical submission. After that, we will try to price the BQ and then upload the form of tender and also alternative proposal if any. And if we have the time, we can take a look at the BuildSpace Pro for contractors, which I believe is a very useful tool in winning a tender bidding. All right. So let us take a look at the first step, which is the company registration. For contractors, all you need to do is just go into your preferred browser of choice. For us, I would prefer, or I would suggest, to use Google Chrome in this case. So in your URL box up here, enter the following URL: ecoworld.buildspace.my and then press enter. So again, ecoworld.buildspace.my. After that, you will see this page. Okay, so what we need to do now is just go to sign up down here, the sign up button here, click on this. Okay, afterwards we will have the company registration form where we just need to fill up the forms and then check on the terms of use down here, and then just simply click on submit. Afterwards, one of the representative from BuildSpace or one of the representative from EcoWorld will go to approve you, and then you have successfully registered on board the system. Okay, so that is the first step. If you have questions, just feel free to enter your question inside the question box, and then we can read it out and let know of the answers during the presentation. Okay, let's move on to the second step of e-tendering in BuildSpace, which is respond to expression of interest. Okay, once we have successfully registered ourselves inside EcoWorld's BuildSpace platform, and then we shall receive one of these email right here, which is the expression of interest. Okay, so if you can see on this email, we have has been invited to participate for the tender. Okay, and then we can register our interest by clicking on the link right here. So if we decide to participate or not to participate in this tender, simply go to click on this link right here, and then it should redirect us to another page. Okay, in this case, this URL is no longer valid, but you should have a page in which you can decide to participate or not to participate in this tender. So we will have a checkbox over here or a yes or no button. So you just click on that button and then you should be registered for the tendering process. Okay, and then once the tender has been called out, you will receive another message like this: e-tender message notification. Okay, inside the e-tender message notification, you should see the tender calling dates and also the tender closing dates. So this is to confirm that you are participating for this tender. Okay, so to go to the project or to go to the tender, you can just click on the link right here, or alternatively, you can go to, again, ecoworld.buildspace.my and then log in using your account right there. Okay, so I have prepared a project earlier for us to experience the cycle of tendering inside BuildSpace. So let me open the project real quick. So this is the login page, but this one, for the purpose of this presentation, we will use our own. Okay, so we log in using our own account and our password. I almost forgot on this part. Once we have already logged in or we have already registered ourselves on board of EcoWorld's e-tendering or EcoWorld's BuildSpace platform, expect to receive two different emails. The first one is the confirmation of account creation, and then once you open the email and then you just click on one of the link, and then you shall receive another email with password, with a generic password for you. So once you sign in using your email and also the password given, okay, so this is what BuildSpace for Contractor looks like. To reset or to have to change your password, you can just click on the human logo right here and then go to my profile. After that, you can change your password right here. Okay, once you have changed your password, then you should be able to log in using your own email and also your own password. Okay, so let's go to the fourth step, which is the tender submission. Okay, so here we have logged in as a contractor using the contractor's account. So to take a look at the projects, we go to the project button right here, click, and then we shall have the list of projects that we have with EcoWorld. So in this case, maybe we will only have one, but we have, yeah, should be we have only one in at this moment. So we click on the project. Right inside the project, on the main information page, this is the project's information as well as the tendering information right here. And then to download the drawings, any documents that we have inside the system, we go to click on the documents right here, go to tender documents, right? And then we shall see a list of files being given to us. This again depends on how EcoWorld were to design their filing structure. We may have something like this, or we may not have something like this. Okay, to download the drawing file, take for example here we have the drawings. Here we have 3 files, and then click on open. All right, after that we will have the list of drawings right here. So we can either download it one by one just by simply click on the wording, all right, as you can see over here, or we can just go to action, download folder, okay, save file, and then it will save all of this file as a zip folder. It will be downloaded into our machine, of course. Okay. So that is how do we download tender documents and also drawings. So the next step is to do the technical submission. Okay, to do technical submission, go to submit tender right here. And then inside submit tender, we will see the status right here, indicating that our current status in tender submission. Okay, so we click on tender right here. Afterwards, we will still have this checklist over here before we can proceed to completely submit our tender. Okay, to do the technical evaluation process, we go to this part over here, which consists of form and also attachment. Okay, so we click on form. Right here, we will have a questionnaire that we need to complete. So this questionnaire is basically depending on the client. Sometimes the client will require the technical submission, sometimes the client don't. Okay, so if they require, we just evaluate ourselves and then enter the answers right here. Okay, this is again to be done by the contractor. So simply evaluate ourselves and then save on this part over here. Once we have saved, we can see one of the action over here has been completed. So which left us with another 2 actions before our tender has been successfully submitted. So now let's take a look at how to do technical evaluation attachment. So the attachment part is available right here on the yellow button. So click on the yellow button. Afterwards, we will have the list of files that we can use to upload inside the system. So list of mandatory file over here, we will have the tick, meaning that we need to attach a file for this section, otherwise the submission is not complete. Okay, so take for example, I upload one of the files right here. Okay, company registration, upload the files like so. So for this file over here, we can upload at using whichever formats that we like or we want. We can use PDF, we can use Words, we can even use Excel file. Okay, we can upload over here, no problem. And then as long as we have already uploaded the mandatory file, then we can click on the upload attachment right here. Okay, once we have uploaded the attachment, we will have this task being checked and in green, technical evaluation attachment has been done. Okay, so we have another one, excuse me, another one task that needed to be completed, which is the tender rates submission. To do the tender rate submission, okay, we go to click on the blue cube right on top over here. Okay, see blue cube, click, and then go to BQ editor. All right, once we click, we will be redirected to another portal in which we can proceed to enter our rates in for the BQ submission. All right, so take a look. Let us take a look at how do we price in for main building works prices. Okay, so we can see over here I have prepared earlier bill number 2 bungalow. So we double click on the bill, and then over here we will have the list of elements. So take for example, we price in for frame. So double click on frame. Then we will see here is the list of items. And on to the right hand side, we have the quantities and also the empty rows or empty column for rates. Okay, so we click on the rates and then press on enter. After that, we can enter our rates in the column right here. Take for example, for reinforced concrete, it's 320. Like so, then we can proceed to enter the remaining of the items. For hot roll, maybe we flat for ringgit, like so. And then we can proceed to enter the rates for the remaining of the items right here. And if we go back on the element page, we will see the accumulative rates for the item right here. Okay, so that is the basic form of how do we design a BQ inside the system. This is to be done by the clients or by the consultant, of course. So we also caters for another method of pricing inside the tender, which is a multiple column. All right, take for example, we are participating for a project in which we will be doing the terrace house. Okay, so if we double click on the terrace house right here, so this bill, notice that we have 3 different quantities or 3 different types: corner unit, intermediate unit, and also end unit. So if you take a look at one of the elements right here, this is the list of item, and then this is the quantity per unit, price per unit, which means that 58 meter cube of the column is represented in one of the buildings. So then it will be multiplied by the total unit, which is 4 during the project breakdown page, which is right here. So right now we enter the rates for per unit. So take for example this one, 58 meter cube, 320 also, right? And then the system will automatically multiply our rates with the quantities right here. So once we have the quantities right here, it will be reflected inside our grand total page right here. So if we go back on the element page, we will have the grand total for frame. Okay, and if we go back to project breakdown, we will have the grand total multiplied by the numbers of units noted over here. Okay, and then I would like to draw your attention to preliminary bill, which we have some special items for the contractor to price in. Similar, double click, all right? And then over here, this is a normal item, all right? And then right here, we have a PC rate item, which is the prime cost rate item. So normally the supply rate will be provided by the consultant or by the clients. And then we as a contractor will need to price in for wastage, labor for installation, other costs, and also profit. Okay, to price in for this particular item, double click on the rates column right here, and then enter our percentage of wastage right here. Take for example 10%, labor for installation 20 ringgit, other cost maybe 150, profit we put it in as 10%, and then the sales system will automatically calculate the total right here. Click on save. So it will reflect back on our rates column right here. Okay, so take for example, the consultant gave us the opportunity to suggest or to propose any other items for this bill. Like for example, this one, any other items to be included. Normally for hard copy files, we can just write in our items right here. But for the system wise, make sure the item type right here is item-NL. Okay, and then on this description column, click and then press on enter. Afterwards, we can enter the description for the items that we are proposing. Take for example, item A, like so, and then press enter again to save. Then we can enter the units for the item. Take for example, number, right? Number, and then the quantity, 2, and then the rates over here, maybe 150. Like so. Okay, and then similar for item B and also item C, but make sure to have the item type as item-NL. This is to be predefined by the consultant and also the clients, of course. All right, once we have done with this process, with the pricing process, click on reload. We will have the total amount right here, and then to print out a copy for ourselves, this is where we print out the project summary, print with price. And then the system will generate a PDF format of our submission. So this is the tender summary. Okay. And then for the BQ, print final BQ with or without price. Say we go with price, print. So this is bill number 1. The prices right here. Okay. And then the remainder of the bill. Bill number 2. And then we can proceed to download or print whatever we want to do with this copy to ourselves. Right. So once we have done with the process, remember to click on the submit tender right here. Okay. Otherwise, our rates will not be synchronized with the client server. Okay. So once we have clicked on the submit tender, we will have this pop-up message right here. Click on OK. And then if you go back to e-project just now, or use this button, and then click on refresh. And here, ladies and gentlemen, we have done the technicals, the tender submission. Tender rates have been submitted, technical evaluation has also been submitted, and also for the attachment has also been submitted. Right. So what about the form of tender, you may ask? So form of tender, usually there are few ways to go about for the clients. If the client prepared the form of tender using BuildSpace, you should be able to print out the form of tender right here. And if the client were to have their own version of form of tender, you can find that form inside the tender documents right here. So some of the files right here should be noted as form of tender. So remember not to click on the green one, because the green one is the one being prepared by using BuildSpace. Okay, so once we have a copy of the form of tender, take for example, the client were to design their form of tender using BuildSpace. So we will have our amount right here automatically generated, right? And then what left is that we just sign and also chop on this form of tender right here, scan it back, and then inside the system, go to submit tender, and then scroll all the way down into the attachment column right here, click on add files, select the files that we just scanned just now, click on open, click on start, and then it will upload into the system. Give it a few seconds for it to fully upload. All right, once it uploaded, we can click on the save attachment right here. And then the system will notify you that the tender rates attachment has been submitted. Also, similar process if we want to upload the alternative proposal, we can also upload the files right here. So the client will then download and take a look at your alternative proposal. Okay, so that is basically it on how do we submit tender by using BuildSpace, the free version. Okay, so let me go back to our slides just now. Just to recap, we have taken a look at how to log in into client's BuildSpace server, and then we have seen how to download tender documents on this folder right here. And then we have seen how to do the technical submission if requested by the client. And also we have seen the pricing in BQ editor, which we just done just now. And lastly, we have taken a look at how to upload attachment or documents to the client's BuildSpace server. Okay, so remember just now, before we start the presentation, I have shown you on the additional products that we have, which we call as BuildSpace Pro. So this one is specifically tailored for contractors to do pricing. So by using BuildSpace Pro, we will be able to, on the tendering stage, to enjoy these benefits right here to improve our usability on the platform. We can import the tender BQ, and then we can do the rates linking from our library. So I would like to share with you on a few of the highlights that we have inside BuildSpace Pro. So by using BuildSpace Pro, we can store almost all of our quotation from our client or from our suppliers on every items that we have during or we will require during the construction of a project. And then, as you can see over here, request for quotation, we can do so on board the system. And then we can keep track of the stocks for our items. And also we can generate a material wastage report. Particularly during tendering, we can do a multi-level markups in which we will have a better tailored tendering or better strategy in tendering to win this particular tender bid. All right, and then for resource management, we can generate a Gantt chart and also project S-curve, and lastly we have over here, which is the sub-package BQ. On the project Gantt chart, this one is similar to what we have by using Microsoft Projects. So we can do so on board the system itself. All right, so lastly, we have a special package for contractors for EcoWorld. As you can see over here, we have numbers of users 3, and then the subscription cost would be 5,000 yearly and also 1,500 monthly. But if you sign up by 30th of November, we will get an additional 2 users for the first package, the 3 user package, but retaining the same cost, which is the 1,500 per month, and for quarterly, and also the yearly cost is just 5,000, which means that you will be only spending 500 per month if you score the quarterly. All right. Okay, moving on. BuildSpace is heading towards the new era of computerization. We are taking a look at the artificial intelligence and also machine learning to aid our users in pricing the tender and also generating the tender documents on a much more easier way and also much more standardized way, in which means that it will give benefit to us, obviously. But to do so, we will need to collect more data and more user feedback from users like you. And then we can only implement the machine learning and also the idea of artificial intelligence inside the system. Okay, before we end the session, I have prepared a poll in which you can cast in your vote over here. Okay, you should see a poll pop up on your screen. So just simply click on yes or no on the are you interested to know more about our another product, which is BuildSpace Pro right here. So I will leave this poll open for another few minutes. And in the meantime, let's read out some of the questions that we have from the clients, from the audience. So do we need to do this now? Yes, you can do so on board the system. The ecoworld.buildspace.my is already up and running, so you can register yourself on board the system right now. Can we download all tender documents in one click? Yes, I just demonstrated to you just now. On the tender documents page, you just click on the action and then download folder. So it will download everything as a zip folder. File upload have limit MB of file? No. The file you can upload whatever size of file provided that it is not too big. But as for the moment, we don't have any limit for megabytes per file. Rate can linking from same item description. This feature for rates can be linking from same item description is available if you subscribe to our additional products, which is the BuildSpace Pro. We will have a library for the rates, and then you can directly link the rates for same item. Others item can key in description. Yes, provided that the item type is item NL, like I've shown you just now. Will I be able to keep a soft copy file of the BQ in an Excel spreadsheet? For if you were using the free at the moment BQ editor, unfortunately you will unable to keep a soft copy on Excel spreadsheet. You can only have it on PDF format. But if you subscribe, you will have the ability to generate a PDF or an Excel format file. Okay, I hope I answers all of your question. Any further questions from the crowd? Sure, thank you, thank you. Okay, so I just close this poll. Thank you so much for your very amazing feedback. So thank you, thank you. All right, so we have reached to the end of the training session. If you have further questions that you want to ask during the process of using BuildSpace, just keep in touch with us at support@pck.com.my, or alternatively, you can go to support.buildspace.my, and then you can enter the questions on board that form. Okay, so on the handout area right on your screen right now, I have also attached a tutorial checklist for tenderer. In this case, you can take a look at the tutorial checklist. Let me show you an example of the tutorial checklist. As you can see on your screen right now. All right, so this is a checklist this is a tutorial in which contains everything that we just explored just now. So we can do expression of interest right here, and then we can take a look at how to participate a tender. So inside this tutorial checklist, you can choose either to use or to view in PDF format or in a video format right here. So we just click on the link right here, and then we will have the checklist right here. So every steps that we just discussed just now is available inside the checklist. So you can take a look, study this one, and then you should have no problem in doing the tendering stage. Okay. All right, I guess that is it on today's session. Oh, we have one more question from the audience. Sorry, what the max size for documents? For the moment, we don't have any maximum size to upload any documents. We can do any files that we require. Okay. Any more last minute question, ladies and gentlemen? Okay. So thank you so much for your attention for this morning. If you have further question, just contact us at support@pck.com.my or support.buildspace.my, and then one of our consultants will take a look at you. How to get the checklist should be available inside the handouts area on your screen right now. Download the BQ section. Unfortunately, cannot. The BQ must be priced online. Okay, any more question? Okay, if the audience today have a difficulty in getting the handout, we will email to you after the presentation and after the session ends. Okay. All right. I guess we can just end the session right now. If you have any further questions, feel free to contact us, and then one of our consultant will get back to you within a reasonable time. So thank you again for attending today. Hope you all have a good day, and good luck in tendering for EcoWorld.